It is kind of jacked up to find out that, people around the globe thought that African Americans were immigrants. That's pretty jacked up. Like, all this time y'all thought we were immigrants? I don't understand even why people would think that, because here you have the whole Caribbean, the whole South America, and then we have North America right here. And you would think that, okay, yeah, I mean, everybody else is cool. You know what I'm saying? Jamaicans are Jamaicans, Haitians are Haitians, you know what I'm saying? Why on earth would people think that we are immigrants when we got over here before the founding of the country?
What do you mean y'all thought we were immigrants? Y'all thought black people, black Americans, African Americans, blacks, us, were immigrants. The hardest lessons, clearly, it's going to take me a long time to learn and figure out is that other people just don't know what I know.
Y'all know when Latinos and Hispanics be like black Americans are next? They really thought that black Americans are immigrants.
It's very sad that one thing that every race have in common is disliking black people. That's the one thing that every freaking race have in common is disliking us. But another thing they have in common is using us for our money and our sympathy and empathy. Because blacks, let me set y'all straight. Y'all feel sorry for people too fast and too much and at the wrong time. Y'all always, because I see some of y'all saying that the things that we saying we shouldn't be saying. Stop feeling sorry for people and stop letting them use your religion against you.
Latinos have to be more delusional than J-Lo thinking she's really Selena to believe that black people can be deported in their own country and that black people are immigrants.
Are you people insane? What are you talking about?
I'm telling you, when that shit dawned on me, I was like, no shit. I was like, no, that shit click. I was like, oh, they think we immigrants. No shit. I was like, God damn, no wonder. No fucking wonder. That's no shit. But I was distraught. I was dumbfounded. I was goddamn, what's the word? I was flabbergasted. I was like, that's it. I was like, they think we immigrants. No fucking wonder. Damn, they were fighting the wrong fight.
For Juneteenth, I need y'all to learn that black Americans are not immigrants. You're not an immigrant when you are dragged across the globe against your will to be worked and bred and tortured by the very people who stole the land upon which you were dragged to. Okay? We didn't choose to vacation here. We didn't choose to flee here. We didn't choose any of this. That's the difference. A lot of y'all are immigrants, and God bless you for it, but that will never be black Americans. We were forced to build up the places that a lot of your ancestors immigrated to, and to this day didn't get a stake in any of that. So before y'all run your mouths about black Americans and our history in this country, make sure you're not spewing out garbage first. Because immigrants make this country what it is, but we are the building blocks, the very foundation. So unless you're Native American, you can't say nothing to me about that.
5 American facts to break immigrants' back. Black Americans did not immigrate here. We were trafficked through chattel slavery. The first Americans arrived in Virginia in 1619, not as immigrants, but as chattel property under violent colonial rule. No visa, no port of entry, no green card. Only forced labor, rape, and death. That's it. Black Americans were here before most white, Asian, or Latino immigrants. Do your history, do your research. 1865, over 4 million black people had already lived, worked, and died in America.
I scrolled past a post where this lady was like, there are actually black people getting deported. Like, black people are actually actively getting deported. And she was like dead ass serious. And she's like, so this really truly is our fight. Like this, like we're supposed to be together in this. And I can't help but think, what type of black people are you talking about here? Because I'm thinking that you're not talking about my...
Now people are saying that Latinos didn't know that black Americans are not immigrants. Child, I just don't even know what to say. I don't know what to say to that. It makes sense though, because the narrative that I've always heard about, why don't black Americans have the same drive or take initiative or, the narrative that we're lazy, even though we worked here for free. Like, didn't you know that? Didn't you know that our ancestors worked for free for hundreds of years? Like, I thought that that was common knowledge. But I guess it's not. Like, this is really bad. If this is the case, why do you even need to take away critical race theory? People don't know it now. Might as well leave it in place. They don't know it right now. They don't even know the history of black people in America. I just don't even know what to say at this point. It's way worse than I thought it was. But I do feel like Paul Mooney, that people are getting their Negro wake-up call, but in Spanish, they Latin wake-up call, they Hispanic wake-up call, because they learn it now.
Why in the world would people think that we're immigrants? African Americans, I mean. Okay? That is so weird. Like, and to see how it actually affected how they voted. I mean, this really opened up a can of worms right here. This really did open up a can of worms. It affected how they voted. It affected all the things they would say about us for a long period of time. Like, they really thought that we were the immigrants of the United States of America. So how is it that people would think we are immigrants? That makes absolutely no sense. All this time. And see now, then when I saw that Cuban lady on here talking about you know what? African Americans are the only ones who can help us. For the longest time, we have been clowning African Americans, blah, 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 and they're the only ones that could help us. They can't be deported. So, even though the video was honestly true, right? But when you say that, right? You said that out your mouth, right? That means that the only reason why you would even try to be around us at this point is to secure your status here? After talking all that trash? He was talking about Cubans. I'm going to specifically say she was talking about Cuban America. She was talking about Cubans, okay? Nobody else. I don't want to put all the whole. She was talking about that because she was Cuban. She said, "I've always been with them, but you know, if you're gonna kiss anybody's butt, you're gonna have to kiss Black American butt." What? This thing is blowing my mind, really. Because the fact that, because I did a whole video about this and I was telling someone from out of the country, talking about when we come over to the country, we like to align with white people because that's where we get our success from. And I said flat out, said, you do not get your success from white people. White people don't even want you here. You get your success from black people. That just went completely over a lot of people. Say just like, they're like, how in the world is that? I mean, it seems like the globe does not consider us. And then they would always say, what kind of power do you have? What kind of power do African Americans have? Do you not realize? Do you not realize that there's white people in Congress? And then guess what? Guess who's next? Guess who has the most power in Congress? Black Americans. Now I understand that the globe, many, probably the majority, just thought we were just over here. And now it makes sense why every time they look at us, right, they say they don't consider us actual founders of the country. All they do, they sit there and they say slave. When they see us, they say slave. That's what they see. Because I've actually looked at comments and been called it myself, slave. So they're actually living in the 1700s still. The globe is living in the 1700s and the 1800s when they look at us. When they look at African Americans, that's what they look. So that's actually to our advantage in a lot of different ways. So while we were over here fighting for everyone's civil rights, everyone else was looking at us as that. That is so wild to me. And now that the same people they were chasing are kicking them out, or saying we're not going to kick you out. And that's another thing. They're saying we're not going to kick you out, really, if you work in agriculture or in hospitality. They're basically saying we'll let you stay here if you're working the jobs we need worked. That says a lot. Okay, that says a lot. Okay, and the same people that they trying to, get proximity to are kicking them out of the country. Which I said that a long time ago in one of my videos. I'm like, y'all don't know what y'all talking about. What's going on? Flip, 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 flip. I don't know what's going on, but as an African American, just use it to your advantage.
Y'all know when Latinos and Hispanics be like, Black Americans are next? They really thought that Black Americans are immigrants. And that explains why they voted the way they voted. They try to get us up out of here. But I gotta say to the Latino community, not only did your ESL classes, but the American educational system failed you tremendously. Because Black Americans are not immigrants and we're not going anywhere. And this is how ill-informed they are. They really think because they're in the middle between black and white that they're white adjacent, when that's far from the truth. It's only 3 categories that's broken down in this country. You have white Americans, you have non-whites, and you have Black Americans. The people in the middle, y'all just extras in this movie. The main characters are the white Americans and the Black Americans, and sometimes the Native Americans make a guest appearance. This country spent too much money, trillions of dollars, in painting Black people as the bad guys. That's the default, to even get rid of Black Americans, as sad as that may sound. And you know who's catching on quick, who's learning the game real quick? Africans and Caribbeans. That's why they're cosplaying as Black Americans. They're not cosplaying as Black Americans to trick us Black Americans. They're doing it to trick white Americans because they don't want to be deported.
Latinos have to be more delusional than J-Lo thinking she's really Selena to believe that black people can be deported in their own country and that black people are immigrants.
Are you people insane? What are you talking about?
Through my short tenure on this app, having conversations with people throughout the diaspora and people from around the world, it has come to my attention that many do believe that black people are actually immigrants in the country that we hail from. This is why we get hit with, where are you from? And when somebody says Georgia or New York or Detroit, they're like, no, where are your parents from? And I'm like, New York. They don't get it. And it's like, you arrived here as an immigrant and you think America is a white country. America's never been a white country. America has always been a multi-ethnic country in which white people have been the majority of. Never been a white country. So you don't look at a black person or native person and be like, oh, you're really American. That's just the reality of this country. We'll always say the only real Americans in this current iteration of America we have are white people, black people, and Native Americans, because those 3 people have been here since before the inception of America and during the creation of America. Everyone else came after. All the other European immigrants came through Ellis Island. The Italians, the Polish, the Jewish people, the Greeks, all of those people are later additions. We've been here since before all of them. So how can a black person be deported? I would implore you to actually know the history of the country you're living in or trying to occupy, and before you speak to someone who is actually a descendant of the people who have been here since the 1700s.
Respectfully, I have a question for the black community. Videos are getting on my nerves. You guys have a lot of smoke for black people. I don't know. Y'all think of us as almost like the Avengers for civil rights, but for nothing else.
And you didn't acknowledge us when we told y'all asses. To remind you, they had y'all and your kids in cages last time. I never thought y'all was this stupid. And I never thought y'all were this racist within the Latino community. That you would ignore the citizens that got the rights for you to be here. And ignore them. But Latinos for Trump proved us wrong. And I just feel like it's so funny. Y'all feel safe enough to call out us, but you ain't saying nothing to MAGA, and you're not saying anything to the Asian community. I've not seen one video directed towards the Asian community to come together. They're minorities. Y'all forgot about them? Black people supposedly only make up 13% of this country year after year, which is, I don't believe it, but I think for the Latinos, and I have Latino people that I care deeply for, but if I did not know you before November 5th, I don't need to know you now. And I think that's what y'all don't understand. We don't need to come together with you. We tried to come together with you. We didn't vote for Kamala because she was black. We voted for her because she was for democracy. At the most basic tenets. She wasn't going to rile you up and go to your children's graduations and break your car windows to drag you in front of your families out of this country. I mean, people like to talk about Obama deported more people than Trump can barely get. But we didn't see any of this, and social media existed. No one was saying they were being targeted or harmed in this way. No one said they weren't able to go to court. No one said they were getting shipped on planes to places they're not even from, sentenced to life imprisonment. Y'all risked y'all livelihood. And the people who are trying to come after us saying, what you think gonna happen once he done with us? We're citizens. Now, whatever they choose to do with that is what they choose to do. But we're citizens.
Since it's Juneteenth, I'm going to also get this off my chest. First of all, African Americans who came here through the transatlantic slave trade cannot be immigrants. Immigrants are people who choose to go to another country voluntarily because they are leaving because of conflict, economic more opportunities, etc. Those are immigrants. So a lot of y'all family came here as immigrants, specifically on boats or coming across borders or however you got here. I don't care if you flew here. That's how you got here voluntarily. Africans who came to the United States as well as to the Caribbean area were brought by force in chains across an ocean, packed in like fucking sardines in a can. So it's disrespectful to say that African Americans are immigrants because we are not here by choice. And then after 1808, when the transatlantic slave trade ended, they began to breed black people because they could no longer transport them across because of all the people who were dying in the ocean. It was not economical. So they decided to breed them. So you are looking at somebody whose family comes originally from Mississippi, from a plantation that was a breeding plantation. It didn't matter. They bred sister, brother. It didn't matter. Okay? These people had no conscience. So to say that African Americans are immigrants, it is deceitful and disrespectful. And it's Juneteenth, so I'm going to say my piece. Okay?
Now, which one of y'all is running around here saying that Black Americans are immigrants? Granted, there are some Black people that are immigrants, but they align themselves with the nationality that they came from. However, for most of my lineage, we were here in America since before 1776. That whole birthright citizenship was about us. Are y'all not listening in history class? Oh wait, I forgot. They're trying to get rid of all of that because they don't want you to know the truth, and they keep trying to cover up what their ancestors did. And the same system that they're benefiting from, they don't want it to be equal to everybody. So they're not going to teach you the main reason why it was built that way and who it benefits and who it disenfranchises. But
threaten me, but that shows me that you don't know anything. You don't have any sort of political literacy or reading comprehension. White people don't want to deport all the black people. They want to re-enslave us. You can't re-enslave us to do all the work if we're not here. Like, no, baby, no. So, there's a lot of things you can threaten me with. A lot of things. Deportation ain't one of them. Okay, goodbye.
Now people are saying that Latinos didn't know that Black Americans are not immigrants. Child, I just don't even know what to say. I don't know what to say to that. It makes sense though, because the narrative that I've always heard about why don't Black Americans have the same drive or take initiative, or the narrative that we're lazy, even though we worked here for free. Like, didn't you know that? Didn't you know that our ancestors worked for free for hundreds of years? Like, I thought that was common knowledge, but I guess it's not. Like, this is really bad. If this is the case, why do you even need to take away critical race theory? People don't know it now. Might as well leave it in place. They don't know it right now. They don't even know the history of Black people in America. I just don't even know what to say at this point. It's way worse than I thought it was. But I do feel like Paul Mooney, that people are getting their Negro wake-up call, but in Spanish. They Latin wake-up call, they Hispanic wake-up call, because they learn it now.
Here's something they would never tell you in school. Black Americans are not immigrants. We're not minorities. We're not former slaves in the way they framed it. We are prisoners of war. Think about it. War was declared on our people the moment Europeans landed on these shores. Not just in Africa, right here on this land, Turtle Island, the Americas. We were already here, from the Carolinas to California. We were the copper-skinned tribes they couldn't control, so they reclassified us, called us colored, Negro, and African American to sever the roots. But this was war. Mass incarceration, that's a POW camp. The ghetto, that's a containment zone. Public school curriculum, man, that's psychological warfare. And the 13th Amendment, a legal trap to turn freemen back into slaves. Don't believe me? Look at the language. Negro became a status, not a nationality. And once you strip a people of nationhood, you can do anything to them. Take their land, take their names, make them believe their home is elsewhere. But here's the truth they buried. Many of us descendants of the original Americans, the Yamasee, the Washita, Choctaw, and the Blackfoot, we weren't born here. We were already here. The war wasn't overseas. It was domestic, and it never ended. This isn't about victimhood. It's about status. It's about reclaiming identity, because until we know who we are, we're still prisoners in their system. And the moment we remember, the war ends. Ashe, peace to the gods and goddesses.
So wait, people really thought that African Americans were immigrants? Yeah, I know y'all lying. Don't immigrants go like on their own? If they go to a particular country on their own accord, because they may be trying to get away from whatever. We ain't come here because we wanted to be here. We still don't want to be here. Hell, we hoping that they maybe put us out and send us somewhere. But what do y'all mean y'all thought we were immigrants? Immigrants? What? Y'all know the story of how we got here? Do that make sense? Like, so many, this world is so disillusioned about African Americans. We're descendants of Africa, but we've been here for hundreds of years. We're not first generation, second generation, third generation, fourth generation, fifth generation. Like, we've been here. We built this country. The foundation of this country is built by African Americans. And we didn't come here because we want to be here. Like, what are y'all talking about? Y'all thought we were immigrants. Immigrants? Who? Where? Immigrants? I got papers to prove I ain't no immigrant. Like, some of the stuff that I hear on social media is correct. Like, for real, y'all thought we were immigrants. Come on now. Stop playing. We don't want to be here now. Get us out of here.
One misunderstanding sparked a nationwide conversation, and the truth surprised a lot of people. A heated debate about citizenship and immigrants quickly spread online after a viral exchange highlighting a common misconception about Black Americans. Here is the thing: people regarded as Latino think Black Americans are immigrants in the United States of America. Historians and legal experts were quick to point out that the vast majority of Black Americans are U.S. citizens by birth, with family histories in the country that often stretch back for generations. The discussion soon shifted from political rhetoric to a broader lesson about American history and constitutional rights. As millions watched the conversation unfold, people from different backgrounds weighed in, lay emphasis on the importance of understanding the difference between immigration status, citizenship, and ancestry. What began as a tense online moment became an opportunity to revisit the history of the United States and the diverse experiences that have shaped the nation. The bigger lesson wasn't about one final argument, it was about the power of fact. In today's world, misinformation can spread in a second, but so can accurate information sometimes. The most meaningful conversation begin when people are willing to question assumption and learn something new from what they do not have knowledge of. Now, I want to hear from you. Why do you think misconception about history and citizenship around Black Americans continue to spread online? Do social media platforms help people learn the facts, or do they make it harder to separate fact from fiction? Share your thoughts in the comment below and let's keep the discussion respectful.